Hi guys, welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Next video we're going to be taking a look at one of the characters in Return of the Jedi line of the Black Series figures. And it's a character who's been released quite frequently in the Black Series line in recent years. But this specific version of the character looks at him in his Return of the Jedi appearance. If you haven't already guessed by the title there, it is indeed Boba Fett from his Return of the Jedi appearance. Now before we look at him in detail, we'll take a look at the packaging that this one comes in. Now as you can see, this is a wider packaging that comes with this figure. This is because this one has been released as a deluxe rather than a standard Black Series figure, and that is shown by the amount of accessories that the figure includes. So I will give a look at those periodically as the review goes on. On the side there you do get the artwork of Boba Fett as part of the mural. He goes next to Han Solo in the mural there so far, and I believe there's a Lando Calrissian coming soon, so then that he'll go next to this one as well. So that goes on from that as the mural goes. It's a great artwork picture of the Bounty Hunter. And then on the back there, as you can see, is a better, more flat image of Boba Fett there. And there's the description there, so if you want to quickly pause the video and read that, you can now. But there, that's what we've got on that. But it's a great looking, it's a great card back, number 6 in the line. And it's just a bit of a wider scale card back that we have, sort of say a presentation box that we have compared to the old one. And again, that just comes to the number of accessories that really make this figure really worth your while. It costs a little bit more than a standard Black Series figures, but the accessories and features included really make up the price for what this figure is. And it's fantastic packaging too. And it's 100% recyclable, as I've said before, so you can indeed take apart the bubble and the card back and recycle it all as seen there. So yeah, that's the packaging for the Boba Fett figure in the Return of the Jedi version of Black Series. Now there's a few simple little features that sort of differentiate this from the Empire Strikes Back that makes it a bit more unique. And it's a heavy upgrade across the original one, because this is the original Boba Fett that was released in 2013, 2014 time, when the Black Series first kicked off. This was originally released as an exclusive that came with a Han Solo and Carbonite block, and then it was released on a single card back box for what came next. And there's a this one is a vast improvement over this one, as to be seen. And as I've said, Boba Fett's been seen a handful of releases in the recent years in the Black Series, this one was reissued in the Archive line, and then it was reissued again last year as part of the Empire Strikes Back's 40th anniversary, and it was reissued as a carbonised version, and then we also got a kind of tribute version of this, the White Boba Fett version. There's plenty that we've got from this. The only one we're really missing is an animated debut Boba Fett. So we did get this one following that, and later on in the year we'll be getting a Boba Fett from The Mandalorian, because of course Boba Fett does reappear after falling at the Sarlacc, and he joins Din Djarin in helping rescue Grogu, and he's got his show, The Book of Boba Fett, which is coming soon, which is something to definitely look forward to. But we'll really take a look at this figure. Like, Hasbro really upgraded what we have from the original Boba Fett to really give it, really just make this one be a worthy addition for any Boba Fett fan to have in their collection. He's got that same weathering detail on his helmet there, and as I was saying, there's a few subtle differences that show. So the first off, in this one, the wrist armour is maroon colour rather than green, as seen in the Empire Strikes Back. And then you can see on the back the jetpack is more reminiscent of Jango's one in Return of the Jedi, as opposed to just the plain green that he has there. And there's a few other belt features that show the difference there, but other than that, from the legs below, it's the same kind of look from before. So there's just a few differences that are there that just sort of differentiate the characters in each episode, that make it a bit unique. So you can tell that it's an episode 6 figure as well. But they've really upgraded it this time for Boba Fett. One of the main things that Hasbro have finally done is given this one a moving rangefinder, because the Boba Fett, they just never seemed to give it where you could move the rangefinder down like that, even though it was shown he could do it in the movie. They just weren't doing it on any of the figures, and it was a shame, because I really felt they should have put it on. But we've got it now at last with this one, and it's a very well sculpted helmet. Really fits on the figure nicely, all the different weathering detail it's shown that he has. Of course, he has repainted it as a result of being in The Mandalorian, and it's all there. And underneath, as I've been saying, I said this about the Clone Trooper figure, that there is an unpainted white head underneath there. I believe it's something Hasbro are just experimenting with, and just doing figures without removable helmets, but sort of sealing them on. This does warp the figure in the packaging, because when I got it out, the figure was kind of warped in. But just a quick few minutes in the boiling water, a few seconds, sorry, in the boiling water, and it eases itself out, and it fits much better. So it's just a little something to take note of there to any collectors. But we look down the rest of the body as well. It's really well done. Like the actual body vest, the vest armor plate that he has is actually kind of a separately sculpted piece. The shoulder armor's on a separate one. It's kind of like a paintball thing. Like these shoulder pads are actually attached to the armor and not the shoulders, so they can move with the body. The articulation, as I said, I'll give you a run of that as well. You've got the ball jointed and double neck joint, ball hinged shoulders, these swivels at the arms here, ball hinged elbows, ball hinged wrists, ball jointed torso, which is nicely done, ball hinged hips, swivel thighs there, ball hinged knees, and ball joint rockers at the ankles. It's the good level of articulation that most of these figures have, and it does really well. And as I said, it really suits the figure too. All the different markings as well. There's this Mandalorian thing that he has on there, and the one on his shoulder armour. All fits the figure nicely, and on his knee pads. It just stands as a nice figure, especially when I've got him on my shelf, because I've got a bit of a Boba Fett shelf going on in my cabinet, so you'll be able to see him with all of this in action whenever I film another collection update, because it'll definitely be worth the watch. But this one just stands out really well. And we look at the other accessories now. So there's just a lot of features that this has. The first is on the jetpack, which of course is removable from the back there. You get the plastic goods cape this time, as opposed to the soft goods cape that the Empire Strikes Back theme Boba Fett. And I really think this works better. You can just sort of sit it in place better compared to the soft goods one, because the soft goods one just goes all about as is. It just sort of gets in the way. You have to hold it down with the jetpack, and of course there's a different shade of it too. But yeah, you get the better shade of the jetpack in plastic. Jetpack holds better on with the plastic, and it just works nicely there, and it just sits nicely into place there. And a little feature this one has is the launching rocket missile, so that can come off as though he's launching. You see Cobb Vanth use that when he's wearing Boba Fett's armor in The Mandalorian. He definitely uses it at one point. So yeah, we'll likely see Boba Fett be using it in the book of Boba Fett. You do of course get Boba Fett's blaster rifle, which he does wield in Return of the Jedi. Again, a little slight difference between the one he has in The Empire Strikes Back. There's a little difference to it, so it's just other little things that make you know it's a Return of the Jedi figure and not an Empire Strikes Back one, with this thing being among them. And they've gone really well into giving that the weathered look too. I'll just give you the full look at it on the other one as well. Like, they've really shown that it's rusty, it's seen good use. I like the whole design for it that they've put on there. Now this isn't the only version of the blaster that is included, because Hasbro also included a second version of the blaster. But as you can see, there's the little yellow markings there. So this is based off the Sarlacc pit scene itself. So when the fight sort of begins, Boba Fett flies off the sail barge and heads towards the skiff, which has Luke Skywalker on. So Luke Skywalker's of course using his lightsaber, chopping people out on the skiff, sending them into the pit. Boba Fett flies over, and I'm just going to use this because of course Boba Fett lands on the the skiff, and Luke just takes the lightsaber straight through his blaster, chopping it up like that. So basically that's just a little feature in case you were doing a sort of Sarlacc pit diorama. You can just take that off and have it as though it's Boba Fett when he's just landed on there. It comes off nice and easily, and it's got those little notifications. I like how they've put the sort of lightsaber pre-cut marks. You can tell that it's just sort of been cleaned off, but you don't have to display it with this one if you don't want to. And it works out. You've got a spare one as well, just in case you lose the other one. You've got a spare one you can just display them with. So that's there's that upside there. I'm just going to switch these back to the original one, which as I said, the accessories is what makes this figure more than worth the money you're paying for it. The extra extra tenner you're paying for it, because this one was £30.99 when I bought it, whereas the other was the standard one would have been about £19.99 to about £22. There's a little bit more money spent. Next feature accessory is of course the cable. It's not that long, unfortunately. It comes with a little harpoon, and it does sit on Boba Fett's wrist. So of course he does this he fires it out towards Luke during the fight, and it sort of goes around him and ties him up, but it's not that long. It's like, even if you do have the Jabba's Palace Luke or Return of the Jedi Luke, this won't go all the way around him. I've already tested this with one of my other figures, and it doesn't go all the way around him. It's not that long to do it. So if you're one of those collectors that really wants to do that kind of thing, you can get a longer one, a bit longer bit of thread maybe, and tie them onto that. But the design of that sort of harpoon look they have is good. So you can have him sort of doing a sort of swinging down thing, such as he's hanging off something maybe, or you could even attach this onto Jango Fett and have him with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So there's that little outpost there. And the next accessory here is these ones I do usually display on the shelf with. So you get these two bit of firing launcher parts, and you can turn the back of the jetpack's thrusters, and then you can attach these into place. There's little pegs on them, and you basically just attach them in, and they sit nicely. So you can have Boba Fett in flight mode as he's flying across flies across from the sail barge to the skiff to fight Luke and Han and Chewie and the like. So it's a good addition that we have there on that. Like, it really works. And then our final one is just another little feature, because on the wrist launcher here, you have this small peg point here. You get this extra flamethrower mark, so you can actually attach it to the front of his thruster there, and then you can have him doing a flame battle out. So yeah, there's just lots you can do with this figure. If you don't even have to make it a Return of the Jedi specific scene. You can make it, because there's War for the Bounty Hunters comic book that's running right now. I've been reading it. It's very good. We've seen a lot of good characters come into that with of course Boba Fett, and you've got other bounty hunters, and you've got the Star Wars comic side of things, and even the famed bounty hunter from the 2003 Clone Wars series, Dirge, has come back. So it's a good addition. It's a good storyline. So there should be plenty there to come from it when in there. So you can get all sorts of things going on with this figure on your shelf. It's more than worth the extra bit of money you're paying for it, and definitely one for any Boba Fett fan to have in their collection. And I very much enjoy having it. It goes nicely on my shelf with my other Boba Fett, a few other Jango Fett figures that I have on it, and the Boba Fett helmet, which I do possess on my cabinet just to the right of me there. As I said, you'll see that in a future video. But this has to be possibly my best Boba Fett figure I own so far. And I know we've got plenty more coming, such as as I said, the one from The Mandalorian, which I'm very much looking forward to when that comes. But there'll be plenty more to look forward to. But this one I'll leave a link to in the description below. As I said, it is an exclusive, so you have a bit more of the accessory packs. As you said, it's a bit of a bigger box compared to the older ones, but it really stands out well among the others too. So if you want to get this one in your collection, I'll leave a link to the description where you can buy it from Star Action Figures. But there'll be plenty to see there, and I hope you enjoyed looking at him now on this review. Definitely a worthy figure to have in anyone's collections, and just, yeah, honestly, everything to do with it just goes out really well, and I'm very much appreciative of it. I think the only, as I said, as I was saying about Boba Fett figures earlier, because in recent years we've had an Empire Strikes, a standard Empire Strikes Back in the archive line, and then the carbonized one, the kind of tribute one, the white Boba Fett, and of course this Return of the Jedi one. So the only other one we really need is a animated one from the Star Wars Holiday Special. So that's all we really need now. But then aside from that, we got all we need Boba Fett wise. So with the one coming, so that's plenty to say. There's plenty to look forward to, plenty to see. And I will definitely give you a look at the Mandalorian Boba Fett when he's released later in the year. So there'll be definitely something to look forward to. But as I said, I'll give you a full look, one final full look at everything on this Boba Fett figure before I end the review. It really stands out for what it is. All the little bits of details, everything he has, the weathering, all of that. It's a fantastic figure. The only thing I think they're really down is that the helmet itself isn't actually removable, considering we've now seen Boba without his helmet on, but I'm guessing that will come with the Mandalorian themed one later in the year. So there's plenty to look forward to with that one coming. But I do hope you enjoyed looking at Boba Fett, and do drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know when I've uploaded another review. I'll see you next time.